All right. Welcome in to the Depressed Dallas Boys podcast, episode 2, where we speak on everything Cowboys in the NFL. I'm your host, Noah, joined by Miles and Caib and two new gentlemen, Damien and Justin. How are we doing today, guys?
Good, good.
Doing good.
All right.
Doing great, very great. Started.
Damien, Damien, I'm going to start with you. Just kind of let us know who you are, who you are, pretty much.
All right. I'm Damien. And then, the way I became a Cowboys fan, I was kind of just going into it. Everybody in my family was just a Cowboys fan. So I just became a sheep, followed along. Regret that choice.
It's not a choice.
Yeah.
It's never a choice. What about you, Justin?
I was bred into it just like Damien. When I became a Cowboys fan, my dad became a Cowboys fan like a long time ago. And then I really got into it when I saw DeMarcus Ware sack Eli Manning one time back in 2013. And then, my real first time watching Cowboys football was 2014-15 season. Green Bay game. Don't want to talk about it, but hey, I've been riding ever since 11 years. So let's go.
Shit. God damn. All right. Well, we're going to hop right into it. Damien, Caib, and Miles will have to leave about an hour into the podcast. So after they leave, it'll be me and Justin holding down the fort. So we'll hop right into it. Dallas and Washington played at 1 o'clock on Sunday. Dallas shocked the Commanders 34-26 in an upset win, led by Cooper Rush's 24 for 32 passing, 247 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Also with a decent game with Rico Dowdle, 19 carries and 86 yards. Guys, I don't think anybody expected Dallas to win this game, but they did. Miles, what do you think about how the game went and maybe what the keys to success were?
I thought the game went pretty good. Like, I was very surprised on how Mike Zimmer coached that game. He really out-schemed Cliff Kingsbury and his offense. Plays were being made. Guys were stepping up, like Josh Butler. He stepped up. T.J. Bass, he stepped up. Brock Hoffman, he stepped up while Zach Martin was gone. So that was being good. And yeah, they just got the job done. Everybody did their part. That was just a shocking win, in my opinion. I did not expect that outcome to happen. That's all I got to say.
Hello, how y'all doing? Oh man, fuck the Cowboys starting off. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they should not have won that game. Guys, at the end of the day, I want Travis fucking Hunter. And you know what? Winning this game is gonna make me not get that black boy. So look, my thing is, fuck them. You know what I'm saying? I don't really care about that game. Fuck them. You know what I'm saying? That's all I really gotta say. Fuck them.
Yeah, I don't.
I'll take the win.
I'll take the win. Yeah, I'm a little surprised that they won. What in the world? I'm a little surprised they won. I'm very surprised that they won the way they did. God damn, dude, 40 points. 40 points scored in the fourth quarter. That's fucking insane. I've never seen two teams go at it like they did against each other. And the way that the game ended, I thought Dallas was going to lose. I was sitting there watching it at work, and I thought that Dallas was going to blow it. They were going to lose.
Man,
But
if Dallas would have lost that game, bro, Mike McCarthy would have had to be fired.
oh,
bro.
he would have been gone. I don't think there would have been a question. But now that they've won, you have Jerry Jones saying, "Well, I think they can keep. I think he's a good coach." And it's like, dude, one game does not eliminate the entire season.
Yeah.
I don't understand Jerry Jones's thinking when it comes to stuff like that. Like,
Very delusional.
It was a good game, and all the credit goes to Mike McCarthy, 100%. I think it was I don't remember who it was. I think it was Stefan or Kaysen said, how much credit does Mike McCarthy get for this win? And I just responded to him. I was like, all of it. He gets a bunch of credit. He's not. I'm not going to sit here and hate on him and say that he didn't do anything and then blame him when he loses. No, they played very, very well. They did exactly what they needed to do.
Can we also
be
give an
fair-
applause to Mike? Oh, something matter. Can we also give an applause to Mike Zimmer too?
Yeah,
Like
this is what I'm saying. Give him
defense,
a round of applause.
like the defense was trash in the first 5 weeks. We didn't know what was going on. It was a new scheme, but also we could also barrel it down to a skill issue. But at the end of the day, starting from the Eagles game, sacks have been coming, interceptions have been coming, turnovers. Like I'm seeing these guys play with passion that I've never seen them really play with up until now, and I feel like Mike Zimmer has instilled something that could lead into a better culture later. Like I'm not saying we're going to the playoffs, but it's looking good for now if we're going to keep Mike Zimmer for the long run.
Yeah, at the moment it is. I don't know what's going on with CeeDee Lamb, man. He's just not. They're not getting it going. I don't know if I'd be a little concerned yet, but right now Cooper Rush and CeeDee Lamb are just not rolling, and I think I would be a little worried about it.
I find
I disagree.
you shouldn't be too worried. Noah, like, yeah, they're not going. Like, you're not going to see a connection like CD and Dak had like last year. I feel like they're doing it. Like, they're doing it. I don't know how to say it. Like, they're not feeding him, like, give him all the attention that like they usually do. Like, they're spreading the ball out evenly now.
Yeah, man, they're definitely spreading the ball out, but they're also not getting Jake Ferguson involved, and I don't know if that's I don't know if that's an issue with him. I don't know if he's not healthy for sure. I know he didn't play, but they haven't been getting him involved at all, which he was the safety valve for Dak last year. I'd be a little concerned about that, but that's Mike McCarthy at his finest. If you get a good offensive game out of your team, yesterday was it. That's what you need to win games. You need a good defensive game, and you need your offense to not keep your defense on the field for 50 minutes in the game.
And essentially, that's crazy that like your tight end has to be your wide receiver too. Like the moves that Jerry Jones didn't make in the offseason or the scheme that Mike McCarthy has put in place for these players is not working for CD just to be the primary ball guy.
I gotta say something about that. I feel like our offense guys has enough weapons. They just don't know how to be utilized. Like you see potential in Jalen Tolbert and like Jay Ferguson and Cavante Turpin, guys like that, and Ryan Forney and Jonathan Mingo. People need to understand this scheme is priority. You can have a good player in an awful scheme and it won't work out. Like you gotta scheme these guys open. You gotta use them to their best ability. You can't make them uncomfortable. You got to make them comfortable in the system.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I mean, you can't force a player into a scheme and expect it to work. And I still don't know why they traded for Jonathan Mingo. I just don't understand.
A 4th round pick, I don't like that at all.
A 4th round pick for him to do nothing so far.
Like you could keep saying like this is a developmental piece, but we're not trying to look for a developmental piece right now. We're trying to win. Like, I think 3 straight 12-5 seasons.
I think he's a good piece maybe for next year. You kind of want a wide receiver too. At this point you're probably not getting that production out of Brandon Cooks, who is coming back next week. Tomorrow.
Mingo being wide receiver 2 material. I'm sorry, I just don't.
I don't see it either. I kind of want to see him with more production, though. I want to see what he can do. Maybe he can. I mean, we don't have any kind of valid film to go off of since, he was in Carolina for his entire career. It's a dumpster fire.
Yeah. And I think this might be a second and a third year, so of course, definitely you're not going to see a lot of film. And he wasn't able to get into that, depth chart of like wide receiver 1, 2, 3 in Carolina. So it's kind of really hard to see why we traded for him.
Yeah.
Other than being a developmental piece. But I could see him. Like I saw a little flash yesterday. I mean, last Sunday. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it was there. It wasn't. It wasn't outstanding. It wasn't really what you'd want from somebody you traded a 4th round pick for, but. I wouldn't complain. You know, he's coming into a brand new system. He's probably not used to getting this many targets, which he's not getting very many targets anyways. So I'm still on the fence about him, but you have the rest of the year. Do you guys, Damien, do you think that this might be, a start of a win streak? We have the Giants tomorrow. Do you believe that Dallas could go on a win streak?
A win streak? No, but do I think we could win tomorrow? Yes.
Yeah.
First win at home in like since December. It's crazy,
Lions
bro.
game.
So, I want the Cowboys to win. Don't get me wrong. I really want them to win.
Yeah.
But I also don't. At the same time, I don't want them to. I don't want them to win their way out of a good pick.
Yeah.
Joe Burrow is gonna get. We're finna get our shit fried by Joe Burrow. That's why I'm like. There's no win streak, bro. We're finna get our shit fried, bro.
That's
Like,
very
there's
We're
possible.
no
gonna get fried by
that
Tampa
shit.
Bay too.
Yep.
We played him.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right after
Tampa.
Panthers.
Yeah. You didn't know that?
Bro,
Bro, I was
We
so
played
lost
the whole
this season,
NFC
bro.
South this year.
Oh
Bro,
shit!
like,
Yeah, that's
look,
right.
listen. I saw the schedule beginning of the year. That just so happened, like we started losing. I said, "No, what? Well, we played. I'm just turn it on, see who we play. Oh, we finna lose. Here we go. That's how I came.
Okay.
I ain't know we was playing the Commanders till like that day. I'm not even gonna lie.
All right.
Commanders week. I knew it was Commanders week.
So we're gonna move on. Not very much to recap with the Dallas and Washington game. We're gonna move on to the defensive side of the ball. Obviously, Mike Zimmer, when he was brought in, everybody was extremely excited about him. But so far in the year, the defense has not been very well. Has not been very good. But it seems the last few weeks, seemingly since Micah came back, the defense has actually been pretty decent. And Miles, you actually asked this question: should the Cowboys bring back Mike Zimmer? Miles, I'll let you lead off with that one.
I feel like yes, they should bring him back. I feel like have you seen over the weeks? You've seen the defense, like Justin said. You see the defense play with passion, play with heart, like get more takeaways and stuff. And people gotta understand this. Mike Zimmer and Dan Quinn defense are way completely two different things. You got to get used to a scheme, a defensive scheme, especially like Mike Zimmer's. You can't just get used to it that easily. And like his defenses have been doing good against good offenses. Like in my opinion, he out schemed Bobby Slowick, who is a good offensive coordinator. He out schemed Cliff Kingsbury. He out schemed Kellen Moore. Like, bro, he's shown flashes, and the crazy thing about it is he doesn't have like the right personnel. Because if you think about it, when his defensive scheme is all about stopping the run, and you having big body defensive linemen, his half of his defensive linemen has been out. Like Sam Williams, he's been out. Nealon, he's been out. DeMarcus Lawrence, he's been out. Then Micah, he's been out. He's been out, but he's back, and now you see like the defense change over the weeks, and I feel like you should give him another chance. Yeah, this has been a slow start over the year for him, but just give the man a chance. You've seen how his defense has been changing over the weeks. It can't get worse. Yeah, that's all I got to say.
I want to add on to that, bro. Like when Dan Quinn defense was mainly prioritizing our superstars, and when they had to take a step back and play a role, it was going to be slow. When Micah got hurt, y'all saw the defense start to like combine as a whole. And then when Mike came back, he's like, okay, I'll see what they're doing. Let's add to this. Now we got more firepower. That's when the takeovers start happening. That's when the sacks start happening. We finally do our job. That's when the run holes, like the run has been getting stopped. I ain't gonna lie. We've been stopping the run a lot better than we did before because people are doing their jobs and not relying on one or two people. Like last year, all we relied on was Deron Bland and Micah Parsons and DeMarcus Lawrence, bro. You can't do that now because we actually have a scheme. So we wasn't used to that. So of course the first 5 weeks is gonna be shaky. But when we finally got our shit locked in, yeah, it's over. Yeah, it's over with.
Yeah.
Dog.
Well,
And I would like. Oh, sorry.
you're good. You see people compare, the Mike Zimmer defense to Mike Nolan. God, we remember those days.
Bro,
Um,
they're not even close. I don't know why
yeah.
people do that, bro.
Hell no.
Not good at all.
Hell no. That nigga ran prevent defense and still got his shit fried. Hell no.
Justin, what were you going to say?
I like to add on to that. Also, the emergence of DeMarvion Overshown this year has been definitely a welcome surprise because, of course, in his rookie season, he tore his ACL preseason. He came back. We needed that linebacker help because, of course, Micah was going to be on the edge, which is pretty much his primary position now. And then we got the other linebacker like Eric Kendricks helping out, which he's played pretty good too. Like him being that like flying everywhere, getting every tackle, getting sacks. It's like it's got like a resurgence of the defense, and I really like him coming in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't really sure about Mike Zimmer when he was brought in. We always knew him, for the most part, we always knew him as the head coach of the Minnesota Vikings, who did not have a great defense. But I think some people forget being a head coach and being a coordinator is completely different. You see the prime example being Robert Saleh. He was an amazing defensive coordinator. He probably still is. But as soon as he went into that head coaching role, that's where it starts to get a little teetery because you have more issues there. Saleh is definitely a decent coach, but was he the right coach for the Jets? Probably not.
Yeah, nah.
I don't think Mike Zimmer will be getting any head coaching interviews off of his performance, but yeah, I agree with Miles. I think Micah getting hurt probably helped them a little bit because it got him out of that superstar mentality of, oh, okay, well, if we make mistakes, Micah will just make up for it. Well, when Micah wasn't there, nobody was making up for it. So the one thing I will say that I disagree with is when Miles, I believe you said that the run game has gotten better. It really hasn't. Their tier of run game or their tier of running backs they've gone up against just hasn't been there. I love Brian Robinson to death, but he's not a top tier running back in the NFL. When we went up against Saquon, we got torched by Saquon. But who isn't?
He only has 65 yards.
Right.
He only has 65
I'm
yards.
talking about
That's a season low.
right.
That's a season low.
I'm talking about situational. I'm not talking about the whole game. You are correct in a sense that the run game has gotten better. Mozzie Smith has played better than he ever has.
He has, but he does not need to be starting defensive tackle next year. I'm sorry.
No, he doesn't. They do need to improve, and they need somebody like a Jonathan Hankins back.
Hankins, yeah.
They need a Jonathan Hankins signing, and that was supposed to be Jordan Phillips, but he was worse than Mozzie was. So
he just forgot how to play football, bro.
What I want to know is, what do you guys think? Do you guys think that if Mike McCarthy is not here next year, and I say if for a very big reason, which we'll get to shortly, if Mike McCarthy is not here next year, do you think the next head coach will bring Mike Zimmer back, or do you think he might go a different direction and bring his own guy in?
Bring his own guy. It really depends what type of coach. It depends.
If you bring in a coach that was been in Zimmer's branch, then maybe he'll keep him in. But if not, I don't really think he'll keep Zimmer.
See, everybody keeps saying we need to keep Al Harris. And
we need a coach with that's bald-headed, big dick, and muscles. That's what we need. We don't need no fat-ass nigga coach. Them niggas have low testosterone. We need a nigga that gonna have his nuts hanging, bro. We need a nigga gonna get in the person's chest. It's like, that shit. You know what I'm saying? We need a person that gonna do that. You know,
the only fat coach I know that's good is Andy Reid. I just can't think of no other fat coach that's good nowadays.
Andy Reid, oh my God, what would we do to get Andy Reid on this team?
Bro, Dak
Nigga, I would
literally
be
be
a
the best
porn star
quarterback.
for that nigga, bro.
God damn. Okay, so we're going to move on just a little bit. We're going to move to the other side of the ball. What in the world is going on with the offense? It's so unbelievably inconsistent. Last game was a step in the right direction, but do we think that this Dallas offense will continue its real streak against the Giants tomorrow on Thanksgiving? Justin, I really am curious about what you think about this because I think I kind of know what Damien and Miles and Caib are going to say. But Justin, I don't think I've heard much from you. What do you think this offense, what do you think the ceiling is for this offense? Do you think it's good enough to get you to the playoffs or do you think it's below average?
I don't know, man. Like, we can look at what Cooper Rush has done in the past with this type of offense, but that's the past. And we're looking what he's doing with this type of offense. Look what Dak did with this type of offense. It wasn't as much. And now we're looking at what Cooper Rush is doing with it. It's not as much either. It's like if we're not real. I don't think he has the capabilities to be able to push this offense to the next level or even get us to at least, 2 or 3 more wins. I just don't see it as realistic right now, especially with just how the scheme is going and the balls he threw. Like they were some okay balls, but that touchdown pass to Luke Schoonmaker, School had to almost reach his whole arms out just to catch that ball. Like there were a lot of behind balls he threw too, and I don't know. It just looked very inconsistent. I don't think it's gonna get any much better than this.
Yeah, I would agree. I think this is kind of
Yeah.
where the offense is going to stay. Miles, do you think that Rico Dowdle, the run game, kind of finally getting going? Do you think that's going to help the offense, or do you think it's really
Yeah,
not going
yeah,
to
I can
change
finally see
anything?
the I can finally see the run game being going. Like he getting fed more. Like he wish he should have had gone week one. And like yeah, but I don't see the offense changing. Like Justin said, like it's gonna keep being inconsistent. Like it's not gonna keep getting better. It's not gonna keep getting worse. It's just gonna have some games it looks horrible, some games it looks good. But yeah, I'm just glad our run game looks better than it has before. Like you see, like Rico, he had 19 carries, like 80 some yards. That's what running. That's what usually RB1 should be getting. Like he should be getting like 20 something carries for like 90 some yards. Like the beginning of the season, Rico was only getting like 5 to 7 carries and like 20 yards and stuff. That's not how you do a running back. And it was clear cut from the start that Rico should have been RB1. It shouldn't have been Zeke. That was just Jerry Jones being ignorant and just wanting him to come back to have like a RB1 fighting spot. But like this run game should have been good from the start of having Rico as RB1. It should have if Rico was RB1 from the start. I thought we would have saw the offense change a little bit more because our offense went back to one dimensional with Dak having to pass the ball multiple times while him having a running game, which hurt him a lot, and which hurt the offense a lot itself. But I'm just glad now we have a running game. But it's not much we can do with the offense now since we don't have Dak. We have Cooper Rush, just like Justin said. That dude, I rewatched the touchdown pass from Cooper Rush's Schoonmaker. That joke was inaccurate, bro. I remember when Casey was going crazy about it. I'm like, bro, that was an inaccurate pass. That was a little bit overthrown. He had to reach over his shoulder to catch the ball, and it's just like, yeah, there's not much you're gonna get out of Cooper Rush. He's not gonna get better. He's not gonna get worse. It's just like, yeah, the offense is gonna be inconsistent. Well, that's all I gotta say.
Damien, what about the wide receivers, man? The receivers are really inconsistent. CD Lamb is your
Yeah, I'm
obvious
not
number
like.
one, but do you think that maybe getting some more wide receivers and tight ends might be a little bit better, or do you think maybe they should continue to feed CD?
I think we should at least get one more receiver. Like Cooks is not going to do it for us as receiver two. Mingo, no. Who else we have? Tolbert. He could be there, but I don't think he's really as consistent as we could have as another number 2 option. But I don't know. Maybe being someone in the offseason kind of help us.
Yeah, I think you're gonna have to go out and get some. You're gonna have to go out and get a true wide receiver too. Tolbert, unless Tolbert takes this massive step forward, or Mingo becomes what nobody thinks he's gonna be. There's just not enough there to kind of make you go into the next season and feel comfortable, because CeeDee Lamb is a great weapon to have. Any team would kill to have him. But when you're doubled and triple teamed, or if you're doubled and have a safety hovering over top, there's nothing you can do there. There's nothing. I don't care who you are. You can, unless you're, Justin Jefferson mixed with Tyreek Hill, you're not getting open. And a lot of these teams are playing kind of a stack coverage where they stack up on CeeDee Lamb. They run a one-on-one on these other receivers, and then they have maybe one or two safeties at the top. But at times they're either quadruple teaming or triple teaming CeeDee, and it forces Cooper Rush to make a decision. Who does he want to go to? Caib, I know that you have said time and time again that the offensive line have not been dogs recently. What do you think about their best game of the season yesterday? Or, on Sunday?
I mean, I wouldn't say this game, the interior looked amazing, but the outsides, besides, our left tackle is a penalty warrior, and our right tackle just can't block a sandwich to save his life. It's just a bad situation. But our left tackle he's obviously going to get better with time, because his blocking has actually been real good. He just can't keep his hands to himself sometimes. Like, he just gets overboard. Or he just, do nuthead plays where he's off sides or some stuff. It's just some things is going to have pains. But the interior offensive line look amazing. Well, not amazing, but they look real good. But if we can just stop leaving Terrence Steele on the island, we would be a lot better. Because you leave a guy like that that's heavy in the ass, bro, you can't do that, bro. You just can't do that.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Chips or something.
Completely agree.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
I have a question. Why did we give Terrence Steele all that money?
Oh, because he had some devil magic in 2022 that made him look like he was a great.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
He was an undrafted rookie in 2019 who got all of this work because La'el Collins went down, and he looked like a rookie. He looked worse than a rookie in 2019, but 2020 he came out and he impressed. I don't think it would be a stretch. I don't.
He was horrible.
All right, what year was it? Was it 2018 he was a rookie, and 2019 was a real good season?
Brad Caib.
It was 2020 was his rookie season. 2021 was when he was at guard and at tackle. He was switching between guard and tackle a lot. And 2022 is the real good season that he got hurt, and that's when we paid him that money. In 2023, the summer of 2023. That's when we paid him the money. Yeah,
and I know he was doing very, very well after he got his contract, and then before he got his contract. Then he got hurt, and we gave him a contract anyways. He was, at the time, one of the best right tackles in the game. So I'm not necessarily mad at the contract, just because of what he was. I mean, he was a very good, serviceable right tackle. He's who you wanted. Somebody who was very good in the run game and serviceable in the pass game. But Caib, I gotta agree, man. The offensive line, the tackles were a little shaky. The only pressure that was given up the entire game was by Terrence Steele, which was one. And they took Tyler Guyton out so far through the game. I don't remember exactly when, but they put a Sim Richards in. He played pretty decent. I don't know if his coaching staff fully wants to return to Tyler Guyton. I'm starting to wonder if maybe the ownership is dipping their hands into that decision and saying, no, we spent a premium pick on him. You need to start him. Also, I do know that my camera is glitching. I am trying to fix it, but I'm struggling too. We're going to move on, however. I know we all saw this quote that Jerry Jones is not ruling out Mike McCarthy returning in 2025. I really want to know what you guys think about this. Caib, I'm going to start with you. What do you think about Mike McCarthy returning in 2025?
Oh, I mean, it's inevitable. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. I would actually be surprised if he got fired. And I ain't even gonna lie to you. Only thing, if you do get fired, get ready for Jason Witten, get that head coaching job. I'm just saying, we're not gonna get who we want, no matter what, bro. Because Jerry Jones wants a coach that's gonna get on their knees and kiss his ass, bro. He don't want no coach to step over him and actually do their job. He fired Jimmy Johnson because he asked Jerry Jones to step down and let me run my team. See, so like Jerry Jones is a power hungry guy. He just not gonna work. We talking about we want Ben Johnson, we want all that other people. That's not gonna slide with Jerry because they want to run an actual team, not a damn paparazzi, bro. So it's always not gonna be good for business when you try to actually build a team and be a coach for the Cowboys. You have to be an ass kisser some way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's always going to be a struggle. Getting coaches to come here. Miles, I know that you are kind of on the train to get rid of McCarthy. Do you think Sunday's game moves the needle at all for keeping him, or do you think he's still
Not at
in the
all.
hot seat?
He's not even on the hot seat, twin. He needs to go. But wouldn't be surprised if Jerry keeps him. Like Cape said, Jerry likes coaches like that he can control. He doesn't like coaches that's like going to take over and like stand on business. And like that's what like happened with Jimmy Johnson. Like again, like Cape said, that's why he got fired. But even if Jerry do keep Mike McCarthy, we're just going to keep seeing year in and year out. Not even 12-5 seasons. I think those days are over. I think we're just going to see mid seasons where we're not going to make the playoffs, or even if we do make the playoffs, we're going to lose in the first round. We're getting a sorry draft pick. It's going to be the same old routine year in and year out. And like, there's nothing we can do about it. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, Damien and Justin, I know. I don't think I've actually gotten your opinion on Mike McCarthy. What do you guys think about them coming back?
I do not want Mike McCarthy back. I want him to be as furthest as he can from Dallas. But I do see him being back because of Jerry Jones.
For me, yeah, he's coming back. Like, come on, what are we doing, man? Bill Parcells, Ray Phillips, Jamie Johnson, all of them, what they all have in common. They didn't take shit from Jerry. Like, they all wanted to run their team. And what did Jerry do to all of them? Fired all of them. Got Jason Garrett the Clapper for 8 years, 8 seasons. So we got Mike McCarthy, and he was all amazed with these 12-5 seasons. Oh my gosh, we're going to go to the Super Bowl. First year, that goes out. Second year, go out in the first round. The next year, if we get to the divisional, get beat by San Fran. The next year, get torched at home by Green Bay. I'm tired of it. Mike McCarthy is too freaking old school.
Yeah,
Not what his Texas Coast offense, his West Coast offense. I don't care what he calls it. It's trash, and I want him gone too.
yeah. I don't think it moves the needle for me at all. Now, if Mike McCarthy wins out, I think you start having a different conversation. I still wouldn't want him back, but I think the conversation would be stronger to bring him back, at least on a 1 or 2 year deal. But the issue that Dallas is going to run into that we all know about is what coach is going to want to come and coach the Dallas Cowboys. You know what you have in the owner. You know what you have in this roster that is not really going to go anywhere. So, being able to change that, and you can't come in and flip the team immediately, and I think that's going to turn a lot of coaches off. if it's not Mike McCarthy, it's going to be looking like Bill Belichick. And I'm not exactly sure I like that idea either. Mike McCarthy is the one thing I will give Mike McCarthy is he is a great punching bag. When you want to blame somebody, that's who you go after. And Mike McCarthy will stand up there and he'll take the punches. He won't argue with you. He won't get in your face. He won't yell at you. And he won't call somebody stupid. He will sit there and he'll take the punches. I can't remember who asked the question, but it was a post on Instagram from CBS Sports of a reporter asking Mike McCarthy if he felt that he should be fired. And Mike was like, the guy started laughing. Mike started, laughing back at him. He's like, why are you laughing? It's like, what kind of question is that? Of course he's going to say no. He's going to sit up there and go, yeah, I think I need to be gone. No, He's not going to sit up there and do that. You come up and ask me if my job is on the line and if I think I should be fired, I'm going to tell you to go fuck yourself. I'm not entertaining that, man.
Yeah, from the back, nigga. Fuck that nigga from the back.
It's like I'm not entertaining that. Like, come on, man. In terms of the offensive staff, dude, I don't know who in their right mind let Mike McCarthy hire Brian Schottenheimer as the OC. I know he's not a play-calling OC, but I don't know who let him do that.
I wasn't too mad about it because I had looked him up when he did hire him. I didn't know who he was, but I just heard he worked with Russell Wilson for some time, and Russell Wilson was good under him. So I was like, okay, let me give this guy a shot.
I think it was more so. I mean, yeah, I guess you could say that. The issue I have with Shotty is just because your offensive play caller is going to be the one that draws up the plays. He's going to be the one that schemes everything. And then it's up to the play caller, which in this case is Mike McCarthy, to actually call the plays and pick which ones he wants to use. Of course, he has an input in that. I'm not saying he doesn't. But the offensive scheme is just not there. And I don't care how much they won by. I don't care how much they won by. It is very bad. I think I remember Justin getting on and saying how bad it was, and just, I mean, receivers are bunching up. Who bunches up receivers and has them run crossing routes, especially in the NFL? This isn't college, man.
Exactly. And the thing is, to add on to that, you'll see the same plays over and over. You'll see slants. You'll see CeeDee Lamb doing that jet sweep all the time. You just the same constant stuff. You don't see no pre-snap motions, no creativity, no different no route trees, no. You just don't see utilization in your fullback. You don't see no creative plays. No, what's it called? I'm just gonna find the word. I just can't think of it right now. But yeah, none of that. No offensive play that try to confuse the defense. None of that at all in this offense and this game. It just needs to go. This old Texas Coast offense needs to go. It's the same as the West Coast offense. Mike McCarthy just gave it a Texas name because it's the Dallas Cowboys. But this game and offense needs to go.
Yeah, I completely agree. Justin, what do you think?
Look at the Saints game. Their offensive coordinator, they use a lot of pre-snap motion. They were able to get Derek Carr to get them Rashid Shaheed the ball, Chris Olave the ball. They were running all these different routes. All the teams that we have played on offense, I mean, that had great offenses like the Lions and the 49ers, they all use pre-snap motion. And I've always accredited that to them winning a lot because they use that motion. And we just stand there. We run simple ass plays that were used back in the 90s, 80s. That's not going to work now because I feel like the league is ruled by this pre-snap motion, this motion, moving guys to different spots on the field. And we're not going to win if we don't use more of that motion or use more routes.
Yeah,
different plays.
I think the pretty good consensus is that none of us want Mike McCarthy back, but we all see it as possible. I think if McCarthy goes on a streak, I think if this team goes on a streak, they can't. I don't think they're going to make the playoffs. Let's get that straight. But I think if they go on a streak and they end the season well, he might get another contract. We don't know. The eye test would say no, but we did also keep Jason Garrett for 8 years. So
Yeah.
there's not really a thought in anybody's mind on what Jerry Jones will be doing. So we're going to move on to a different topic, something we've not actually talked about. This team at this time has about, I think it was 38 free agents coming up in the offseason. A big one coming up that I know about is Osa. What are some big free agents that you guys want to see come to Dallas? And I'm talking about in general, around the league. And what are some free agents on our own team that you might want to bring back? And who are some ones that you don't want to bring back? Damien, I want to hear what you say. What do you think Dallas's approach should be in free agency?
This might sound a little crazy, but hey, man, bring me Nick Chubb.
Bro, I ain't mad at that.
I ain't mad at that at all.
Hey, he's a free agent. He needs to prove. We don't got a back.
Yeah.
I think he could be a good back with Rico. He's doing good with Jerome Ford over there.
Yeah, what I'm saying, like, I feel like the Browns will not give him the pay, especially since they got Jerome Ford. I feel like they're just gonna just rely on him for now on and just get rid of Nick Chubb and let him walk.
Yeah, it's very possible that they do. Nick Chubb is not necessarily being the best back in football that everybody expects of him.
Yeah.
But he just came off of a absolutely gruesome injury. So
For a second.
I don't see why people are kind of getting down on Nick Chubb like that. But I think Nick Chubb would be a good addition. Somebody who I think would be a really good addition if the Cowboys could swing it.
Who?
Who, me?
Probably Najee. Would we say Najee?
No.
He's been pretty good
Yes.
in
He's been really
Pittsburgh.
good.
Yes.
He has been pretty good.
No.
You bring in a power
fuck is that
speed
nigga?
back, I think he'd be a
Nick
good
Chubb.
comparison.
I like the Nick Chubb pick way
Now look-
better.
He'd be cheaper too.
No, hell no.
Yeah, and he's still young.
If
Ain't
we
he?
get Najee, we need a scat back. We need a scat back in Najee, bro. We could just do Detroit offense, bro. We'd be good with that.
Yeah.
See, and Dallas they have to be aggressive in free agency. They're going to have about $40 million in cap space. So,
Or do we save some of it for like the Micah contract?
that's something that I think might end up happening, and I don't want that. Look, you're going to invest
Right.
$120 million in 3 players. I mean, come on, man. No big team does that, and you know that this team does not know how to manage the salary cap.
Yeah.
Why can the Eagles do it? Why can the Lions do it? Why can all of these other teams manage the salary cap 10 times better than Dallas, but they can't, but Dallas can't. I don't understand that. And you see the success that those two franchises are having. Those are just 2 of several franchises out there that spend money in free agency that are succeeding right now. And, Philly and Detroit, they're always active. And now Detroit is a team that people, that free agents actually will want to go to because they're successful. Even though they're not the biggest market in the world, that doesn't really make a big difference in the NFL. Depending on what the Giants do, they could let a couple of their key free agents walk as well. Not that I really want a ton of people on their team. But but I think that I think Dallas just needs to go out in free agency and they need to improve. They cannot have another free agency like they had. They can't.
No.
And
This move cannot be our fucking long snapper.
Yeah,
I swear to God, that's going to be the first move, and that's fine as long as it's followed up by something else. That was the issue this offseason. They signed the long snapper. Everybody was like, okay,
It was followed up by
see.
But I got a few players in mind we could sign. If I was a GM, I would sign. Okay, the first one would be Trey Smith, guard from the Kansas City Chiefs. Another one is Chris Godwin,
that could be good.
wide receiver. Another one is Drake Greenlaw.
Oh, he's a free agent, huh?
Yeah, that's
Yep.
right.
Another one, I didn't know about this, but actually, no, I wouldn't do it.
What? Who are you gonna say?
Another one is Khalil Mack. Another one is Khalil Mack.
Oh boy.
It
See-
may be a little expensive. I feel like.
Yeah,
We
Khalil
don't
would be a
remember
little
34.
expensive.
True.
Yeah, not that nigga like older than Damien.
Yeah, but he's still
What?
he's still very productive.
Okay, I got a name out there.
And for the last one, his name is Alim McNeil from the Detroit Lions, the defensive tackle.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I would love that kid, bro. That kid's a baller.
You want
Don't play football.
a straight up nose tackle that knows how to stop the run and can get to the pass as well. That's a good pickup. And the good thing is, all of those names that Miles mentioned, besides maybe Godwin, all of those names are bargain bin options. Except Khalil Mack. But all of those guys, you could maybe get away with giving them a smaller contract, which Jerry loves. So,
Oh, they're going to the 49ers, bro. It's over.
oh yeah, they're all going to the
49ers.
40. Fuck it. I mean, you
Them
see,
the Eagles, bro. Exactly. Yeah, we're not getting not one of those guys.
no, we ain't getting nobody.
We don't even need a punter.
We're gonna go and sign some dude from Middle Tennessee that went undrafted and be like, that's our free agency. Good job,
We're bringing
guys.
someone from the USFL.
Here, Micah.
USFL.
The reason I say Trey
Hey,
Smith
we-
is because I just don't see Zach Martin playing another snap in the NFL next year. I feel like he's gonna retire.
Yeah.
I hope so.
They're not letting Kansas City not letting Trey Smith walk out that building. I'm not.
Well,
Gonna lie to
they
you.
might
They're
not be able to
letting
afford
him
him.
walk out.
That's the issue. They may not be able to
The
afford
Saints
him.
can afford. The Saints can't afford 90% of their contract. I mean, their players. But look, here we are.
Well,
they gave Derek Carr money. They
I
gave
don't know.
Chase
Let
Young.
go.
Hey, but they still like a lot of the players is on the roster. Like, it's still they still make moves. I'm talking about if that's a premium player like Trey Smith, bro. I don't care. I'm paying that luxury tax, bro. I'm
yeah.
doing something to keep on my football team, bro.
I mean, the Chiefs are smart enough. They know how to work it out. It's. I don't see Dallas. I just don't see Dallas going after these big guys. I don't.
I mean, one running back I like. There's a free agent, like maybe like the team will be dumb to let him go. But here's the running back on Chuba Hubbard. I think that's his last name.
No, they just signed him.
Oh, he
They
already
just
got
signed him.
extended.
Oh yeah, he did. I forgot
Yeah, he got
him.
that big old contract. He deserved it too. Miles Sanders could be a good cut
Warner's-
candidate. If you
No,
wanted to go
not
him.
Miles Sanders.
Jalen Warren.
Miles Sanders.
Jalen Warren, hey, Jordan Mason and Jalen Warren are free agents. Y'all know that. right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I feel like Jordan Mason was good off the scheme.
Yeah, that's what I think it was.
Hell no,
Yeah.
that nigga, no. While watching the games, bro, he was actually reading them blocks, bro. Like, he actually is a good running back, bro. So I wouldn't say off the scheme. Like, of course, the scheme helped. But if you think about it, bro, like, watching the tape, he actually made the right moves every time, bro. So I can't just take that away from him, bro. Now, if he forgets how to play football when he signs with us, hey, he's going there with a 12 gauge to his head. But still,
That is true, but
he was on
we
good.
all gotta think about, like, are these guys gonna fit in Mike McCarthy's terrible run scheme?
Yeah,
I mean, Rico's balling when you give him touches. So, I mean, Rico can get 80 yards.
Rico's
and
also
this
been
run
in the
scheme, just imagine
scheme.
what
He's also been in the scheme. He
a
knows what
player
to
like that can
expect.
get yards like that.
I
Still, a player can get yards like that.
I'm hopeful.
It'll be better.
Hopeful but reserved. Hopeful
Can
but
I throw a
reserved.
name out there?
Yeah, go ahead.
I know it's a far stretch, but like if we don't sign Micah, which is probably a possibility, but like in a great universe, that boy in Cincinnati, man, I've been saying it all year. Get
Hey,
Higgins,
if we
man.
get T. Higgins, I'm sucking dick on camera.
Yeah.
Doing that on camera, bro. On camera.
Like
Ah,
he's
could you
disgruntled.
But
imagine?
He
look,
got franchise tag.
watching our luck, bro, this nigga gonna forget how to play football if he signed with us, bro. I'm just saying, he's gonna drop every pass and forget how to run routes as soon as he signed with us, bro.
He's gonna turn
I'm
into
telling you.
Tua and start
It
using his
always
head as a
happens, bro.
missile.
Exactly, bro. You finna turn into a water gun when he's a shotgun, bro. I'm like, come on now.
That's very
Ain't no
possible.
blame that.
Hey, you know somebody we could go pick up
it's gonna
though?
happen.
Somebody you could go pick up if the
Who?
Bengals want to let him go. Go and get Trey Hendrickson.
Hey, y'all boy, I gotta say something real quick. I gotta head out real quick. I gotta get ready to pack up and stuff.
Okay.
So y'all boys, I'm gonna keep watching it though. But y'all boys just
Nigga got priorities.
yeah, just keep holding down the fort. And it was a good second podcast. I'll talk to y'all boys later.
All right.
All right, Miles.
Hi, Mouse. Try not to get banned. Oh, well, he left.
All right.
Yeah,
We're going to move on. So obviously we know that Dallas plays on Thanksgiving. They play every Thanksgiving. They play the Giants on Thanksgiving. So I really want to know what you guys think about this Thanksgiving game, how you think it's going to go. Damien, I'm going to start with you. What do you think is going to happen tomorrow?
I just want it to be a good game. You know, just eat some good turkey, some good food, a good game. That's all I'm praying for.
I really don't want Dallas to come out and shit the bed.
Yeah.
Bro, if we lose a Drew Lock, you don't understand. My fat ass will be in Arlington by midnight, bro. I'd be damned if I lose a Drew Lock, bro. Hey, y'all saw that Joker meme where he was like running by a hospital and it just blew up? That's exactly how I'm looking, and we lose a Drew Lock, bro.
I do not want to lose to Drew Lock, man. But you know what? I'm more worried about Drew Lock than I am Tommy DeVito.
DeVito.
Yeah.
I'm
But for
more
me,
worried about it.
The Packers last year, though.
I think if you can stop Tracy Walker, who's been sensational this year, probably the only, besides Malik Neighbors, the only big name player on that roster that's been very good. You know, if you can stop Walker and you can hold Neighbors, I think you have a good shot. But if this team comes out and shits the bed, everything that happened on Saturday is out the door. I don't give a fuck what happened Saturday. If they lose tomorrow, we got problems.
Guys, I feel like it's a trap game, man.
Yeah,
Like,
that's what it's screaming.
Oh, every game is a trap game for us, bro. Every game.
But the whole thing that we've owned the Giants since Dak's inception into the starting QB role is like, oh man, we're just gonna go out and do that. But it's at home. We've sucked at home lately. The Giants aren't just gonna come in like they remember what happened on Thursday Night Football. A lot of things were going each way. A lot of flags were being thrown. They don't want to be embarrassed again. Malik Neighbors doesn't want to be out on the sideline with a concussed head like he did almost. They're gonna want to be hungry. They're gonna say, "Hey, we want to beat our rivals on their home floor, like every team's been doing every year. Everybody wants to humiliate the Cowboys, especially on a bigger stage like Thanksgiving." So,
Oh my god, I'm gonna watch the game with my dad. Okay, my dad's been he's been a Cowboys fan since 1969. Okay.
ooh,
Damn.
Yeah.
no,
if they lose tomorrow, I might just record it to watch my dad's meltdown because he has been tested throughout the 40 years he's been a Cowboys fan, and I wish I was alive to see him win those Super Bowls in the 90s because they were bad in the 80s. They were not good in the 80s, especially towards the end of it. They were really bad. I would have killed to see what my dad would have said when they finally put it all together and were able to win those Super Bowls. And if it happens again, he's going to be watching my reaction because, obviously I haven't seen it. I haven't been to the big game in almost 30 years, man. Fuck, I'm getting starved. Yeah, let alone a NFC championship, man. I just want to see him win. I think Dallas will win the game, and I don't think it's going to be close. I really think that low about the Giants. I'm talking blowout. I think I'm saying 31-13.
That's too much of a. You're giving too much credit to the Giants, bro. You think they scored 13 points on our football field?
Well, garbage time exists.
Hell no, our backups could be starters on that team, bro. Josh Butler's an all-pro player on that team, bro.
Trey Lance could be their starter. I ain't gonna lie.
He pretty much already is. Come on now. He'll come in and throw a pass. I mean, I don't think 31-13 is that unbelievable for for tomorrow's game. I think Dallas should handle should is the key word, should handle the Giants pretty easily. I
think we're going to score 50, bro.
50 with Cooper?
Okay,
most of the touchdowns are going to come from... No. Listen. Most of the scores, like the last game, he scored 34 points, and Cooper only scored 2 touchdowns, bro. The other points came from defensive turnovers and all the other shit. So I guarantee you, bro, if we can just put it more together on a weaker defensive secondary, bro, we're going to put dick in their butt, bro. Real talk. The only thing I worry about is number 78 being on the island with Brian Burns. It's not going to be a little too pretty. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
That's going to be...
you got Caib on one side. You got Kayvon Thibodeau on one side.
Don't compare me that nigga. Oh, you said Kayvon Thibodeau. Okay.
Yeah, Kayvon on one side and fucking Brian Burns on the other. What were you saying, Justin?
I think keys to this game, like usual, get CD the ball, but also get Turpin more involved. I've been saying this for a while.
Oh, man.
Like, get Turpin involved. Like, you saw that speed he had against the Texans with that crazy little slant drive, and he, got 50, 40-yard touchdown. And then, of course, special teams, just use him in every way. Like Taysom Hill, but, of course, not put him at, tight end or quarterback. But like a type of player like that, you utilize him more because when he gets going, he gets us points. So, get both of them involved. Spoon, give him a little opportunity because I like what he did in the Washington game. So, if we get those guys involved, we got it.
Schoonmaker's really taken a step up. Damien, what do you think?
The Schoonmaker, yeah, he really has, especially from last year. Last year we did not like him at all.
Yeah,
Schoonmaker. We didn't use him for real.
He was practice squad.
I don't like that nigga, bro. I don't like that nigga, bro. Schoonmaker. I don't like him.
All right, well.
I'm glad to see him and Spanford do good, though.
Spanford is really, yeah.
I like Spanford.
He's been a surprise so far. I don't think anybody expected Brevin Spanford to really do that much. And he was a blocker in college. He's not a receiving tight end, but he's been very good. So I think, maybe he's somebody to watch out for. He's somebody to watch out for it. And as long as Cooper just comes out and does his job, man, offensive line blocks for him, and we might actually see Trevon Diggs and Deron Bland playing for the first time together in almost a year.
Don't jinx it.
It's the Giants last year.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, man, that would be awesome. One of them get a pick. Oh, man.
Well, both of them get pick 6, bro.
It's the Giants, so they're either going to blow you out or you're going to blow them out. I don't see it either other way. And that's the scary thing is neither of these teams are good.
it's gonna be a weird thing to not see Daniel Jones in that backfield anymore, not being able to sack him with that stupid ass face he has
It is
on
very
when he
weird.
gets sacked.
That's
It's gonna be
stupid
weird.
ass face.
It's
They
been 6 years of it.
they did
Like
Daniel
crazy
Jones
time.
so dirty, man. They did him so dirty though.
Hell no, that nigga suck.
I'm not
Hell
saying
no.
I'm not saying he didn't suck. I'm not saying that. I'm saying, you paid him all his money and you cut him during the year. You had him running scout team safety before they cut him. I mean, come on, man. Like,
That shit seemed fun. That shit seemed fun.
and
But
Low
that
key,
was
I wouldn't mind that.
man, he went and signed with the Vikings. Did you all see that?
Yeah.
yes,
Hell
which
yeah.
was a weird signing.
Yeah, that's
'Cause,
kind of.
you still got
It is a weird signing, but it fits their quarterback room. All white boys.
Yeah.
Isn't
Right.
what's that boy name?
McCarthy.
JJ McCarthy.
Darnold. Yeah, Darnold.
And
Yeah.
Darnold.
Ain't he hurt
Yeah.
or some shit?
Yeah, he's been hurt. Yeah, he got
Oh,
hurt.
who's been
Okay,
their
so
backup?
let me. You said what?
Who's been their backup?
Who's their
Because
backup?
McCarthy's hurt.
Another pasty white boy.
Yeah.
Another pasty white boy.
Wouldn't that be something if, fucking Darnold got hurt? Daniel Jones comes in to save the day. Ah, damn. They're going to the Super Bowl. If that happens, I'm calling it. They're gonna go to the Super Bowl. I'm gonna fuck around and go to the
They
Super
Daniel
Bowl.
Jones winning a Super Bowl for Dak Prescott. Well, who would have thought?
Man, can you imagine? We wouldn't hear the end of it. We would not hear the end of that.
I remember the memes when Jalen Hurts made it to the Super Bowl, like from NFL memes IDs that Jalen Hurts was able to be born, go to college, and do all this stuff before the Cowboys or Dak to make the Super Bowl. And it got me mad, but I was like, oh well. Still, no wins. Both of y'all still don't have Super Bowl wins. Right?
Okay, we're gonna move on to general NFL topics and just talk about a couple of things. Caib, Damien, are you guys good on time, or do you need to hop out?
Yeah, I was about to say,
Oh,
I kind of got to go.
Okay, that's not a problem. Damien,
Hi, Damien.
All
Bye.
right, Damien, man.
Nah, hell no, you ain't had to do all that, bro. We ain't with that shit, bro. Damien, bro.
Yeah.
We ain't roll like that, bro.
Yeah, we is. We like the intent. We like the
We like it.
All right, I'll see y'all boys next week.
see ya.
All right,
She
see
was
you, man.
fun.
All right, so we're going to move on to something a little bit different that we've not talked about. The Jacksonville Jaguars are currently one of the worst teams in the league, and Doug Peterson has been on the hot seat for 90% of the NFL season. Guys, how in the world is Doug Peterson still on the Jaguars? How is he still a head coach in this league?
He has some stuff on the manager and the owner. That's the only answer, bro. He has some against him that's gonna break the internet. That's gonna be worse than John Gruden, bro. He has some type of blackmail on him, bro. That's the only type of thing she got, bro. Plus, you can't really blame him for his defensive woes and Trevor Lawrence being inconsistent. So you also got to put that in play. But end of the day, he's terrible at coach, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see it as, the management loved him after he won that Super Bowl with Philly. They thought he was going to come in, after the whole Urban Meyer thing. It was not, he was going to come in and help Trevor Lawrence actually become that elite QB that they drafted him to be with that number one pick. And it's just like, what can you really do when Trevor Lawrence is like, oh, he's good this year. Like, you really think he's going to be that guy? Next game, he throws like 2 picks, and you're like, what the hell? It's like he's acting like Baker Mayfield in his first 3 years. It's like, what are you going to get out of him?
I just don't
He's
see
about to
it.
go into his 5th year or whatever.
I don't see it in Trevor Lawrence. I don't know what the rest of the league sees in Trevor Lawrence, but he's what people have been trying to label Dak Prescott for years. And Doug Peterson, in my eyes, he needs to be fired. He needs to be gone. I mean, you can't collapse one year and then come out the next year and look horrible. There's no way you can do that. And he's coaching for an owner who is historically short, who's historically a short-tempered guy. I mean, Shad Khan does not keep coaches around to fail. The only one that I can think of that he actually did that with was Doug Marrone or whatever his name was. He kept him around for a long time. But that team was always bad. This team is built for success, and they're not succeeding. I don't see Doug Peterson making it out of this year. He had a great run in Philly. He had a good first year with Jacksonville after the Urban Meyer disaster, but there was no place but up after Urban Meyer. So giving credit to Doug Peterson for that, but after that, he didn't do anything. So you can't be a head coach in this league and be mediocre. It doesn't tend to work out very well. Even for the greats, it doesn't work out. You know, Bill Belichick was mediocre in his last year. That didn't last very long. He didn't stay just because they won 6 Super Bowls. That kind of stuff doesn't stick. You know, Justin, do you think that with the right head coach that Jacksonville could become one of the top teams in the league, or do you think they still got a lot of time to go?
It's kind of sad because, you know, they're one of the newer teams, like youngest teams in the league, and they've had many of coaches, and I don't think they've even sniffed that much of a divisional round or AFC championship. I just think with Trevor Lawrence's development, it's like it should be working right now, and I don't think any other coach right now is gonna be able to come in there and help this type of team take it to the next level. Like, you got some nice offensive weapons. Like Christian Kirk, when he came in, like, he did pretty good the first 2 seasons, but he's not a number one. Zay Jones, I think he's gone or nothing. Like, I like Travis Etienne too. And Evan Ingram, like, he really got rid of that whole dropping the ball system thing. And the defense is mediocre. So I think it's going to take a lot more than just a new coach to take this team to the next level. It's going to be management and getting free agents to even want to touch down and do all, you know?
Yeah.
And maybe in a year, if Trevor Lawrence still isn't the guy, it's time to think about it. You know, even if they sign him to a contract, they're going to have to think about doing something about it.
Yeah, they're going to have to make some decisions here soon. I mean, you can't have all this talent on your team and not succeed. Especially, you mentioned you weren't sure on their playoff success. In their early years, they were very successful. Actually, when they first came into the league, they were very, very good. I believe it was 1999 they got to the conference finals. They got to the conference finals, of course, we know in 2017 when they went up against the Patriots. So they have had some success, and I think that's the sad part about the Jacksonville Jaguars is they've had success. They're not one of these teams that haven't made it far in the playoffs, but they can't ever seem to uncork the bottle and get over that hump. I do completely agree with you that, you know, if Trevor Lawrence, you can't get rid of him right now, and I don't even think they could really get rid of him in a year or two, but if he continues his poor play, you're going to have a decision to make. You know, you can't latch your future onto a hopeful quarterback. What sucks is, you know, if they were going to get rid of Trevor Lawrence, this year would have been the year to do it. I mean, they've got all kinds of great quarterbacks coming out of this draft, or supposed great quarterbacks. So I think the Jacksonville Jaguars kind of shot themselves in the foot with that one. We're going to move on to Caib's favorite player in college football, Travis Hunter. He has, since last podcast, announced that he is going to enter the NFL draft after this year, and that he intends to play on both sides of the ball. Guys, is this realistic, or is this just Travis Hunter being Travis Hunter?
It's realistic. Solely because the game is way slower than college football. When you watch a college football game, it's a lot of on-ball pace, like on-the-hop type of pace. When you're playing NFL, you pretty much have 60 plays per game, 60, 70 plays. In college, you're definitely going to have like 166. So on the body, in my opinion, it'll be less light if you're doing full-time defense and then like 20 plays on offense. Because at the end of the day, he's just an asset that you just can't keep off the field. Like his routes as a player, like as a cornerback, play wide receiver, and your routes are that good, it's impossible to keep you off the field. Like you're just missing a big playmaking ability on offense by keeping just on one side of the ball. That's what's gonna make him special.
Man,
Like this guy's doing something that we never seen before in any collegiate athlete. Like being able to be elite at two sides of the ball and do it efficiently. Like to lead the Heisman race and to help Colorado become that team that Deion's wanted. Like I think it can translate into the NFL. Like Kay was talking about. I've never really played like college football, NFL, so I didn't know that about the snaps being lighter. But like, if that is true, which I feel it is, he can do it, and it can be something that can be transcended to any team that drafts him.
yeah.
And I feel like, yeah, it's gonna happen.
I just don't. To me, and I feel like Cape's going to jump on me for this, but I really don't think he's going to do it. I don't. I don't think it'd be smart. The average wide receiver plays about 157 snaps, every week. Now, granted, not all of those are, snaps that you do anything, but I just don't see it, man. I mean, to be able to play 50% and 50% on both defense and offense, I just don't see it, man. I think the injury bug is going to creep up because that is something I think some people don't understand about the translation between college and NFL. These athletes are no joke. College, yeah, you go up against some freak athletes, but everybody in pros are faster, stronger, and better. And they're going to be faster, stronger, and better than you when you come into the league. I just don't see him playing both sides of the ball, and I don't think a realistic head coach would let that happen. I think they'd test him at both sides. Test him at cornerback and test him at wide receiver. What's he better at? Well, he's better at wide receiver. Okay, we're going to keep him there. I just don't see him playing both sides. I mean...
See, I agree to disagree because, look, you could play him full-time on one side, but just keep him one side at a time with that type of talent, and people are just drafting top 5 that's going to probably draft him, they obviously need a playmaker on the offensive side of the ball. So that's really just hurting your quarterback and your team more, but just at least not giving him 10 to 15 plays, at least, at the bare minimum. Get him in there 10 to 15 plays on offense, and let's just see what he can do. Because at the end of the day, you're bad for a reason. You had a number 1 pick for a reason. Why not go all out and just see what you can do with your player? Now, full time on offense and defense is crazy. That's just ludicrous. That's just an injury waiting at it. But 10 to 15 plays, hey, bro, you cool. Look, on offense, the NFL is a way more run dynamic league, and really cornerbacks really not gonna really get involved in like run game. So really, he could chill on those plays. But when it's passing time, that's when he's gonna work. So really, he only playing like half, maybe 3 times the snaps less. You know what I'm saying? So like, it's gonna be way more slower in the snap aspect than the college. So I think he can do it. I really do think he can do it.
Yeah.
Not full time though.
I just don't. I don't see it, man. I'm not saying he can't do it either. Something tells me he will, but I have a feeling that it won't be like Cabe said. It won't be all the time, and I have a feeling that after that first season, he probably won't do it anymore because I think it's going to be a shock to him. He's going to learn. I don't think I can do this. I mean, you saw the only one that I can really think of off the top of my head is Deion Sanders coming in for wide receiver plays. How many times did he do that? Didn't happen very often. Much. Yeah, didn't do it very often. Not saying it can't be done.
But Deion wasn't a route runner that Travis Hunter is. See, look, Deion did that good just off his God-given ability. Now add that with Travis Hunter's ability, his offensive skills. it's gonna be way different. D only went in for like 5 plays a game on offense. It got a ball or two, a deep ball or two. That's about it. But Travis has a real skill on offense that like Dion never could touch, in my opinion. On offense, on offense. Let me say that one more time for the people in the back. On the offense, you feel me? You know what I'm saying?
I
And you know what I? Oh, you were right now.
Go ahead. You're good.
I feel like I think it's gonna be a draft time decision. Not a draft time decision, but whoever drafts him is gonna want to decide like what's gonna happen. But they're also gonna have an alternate option. You know, I feel like this might be crazy, but try the first season he plays a whole game wide receiver. Maybe the next game he plays cornerback. It alternated. We know this team is going to be like, a rebuilding team because they got the first pick. So do you really want to compete that year for real? Like, just see, it's going to be his rookie season. Let's see what he's best at. And then next season you evaluate and see which, primary position is going to play. You can put that to bed or they could use it sometimes like Dion used to do. That's
Yeah.
my take.
Travis Hunter definitely strikes me as the best player available. I don't think like the Giants will draft him number 1 overall. I think that's pretty obvious now. They're going quarterback, but if they got the number 1 pick, which they're currently slated to get, I don't see them drafting a Travis Hunter. I think he's that perfect mold of best player available. Who in that top 5 needs the best player available? Who doesn't need a quarterback? Who doesn't need an offensive lineman? Which I don't believe there are any major offensive linemen coming out, but I'm not 100% sure on that yet. It's going to be who needs a playmaker, who needs a baller, and yes, you would like to see Travis Hunter go to a good team that knows how to use him, but realistically, that's not going to happen. So it's really up to whoever drafts him to say, no, you're going to play 1 or 1. You're not going to play both. Or that team could say, fuck it, do whatever you want. You're the best player on our team right now. We're gonna let you play whatever you want. I just, to me, if it were me and I were the head coach, I would not let him play both offense and defense. I would use him sparingly on whatever side he doesn't play. He is, from what I understand, a better wide receiver than he is a corner. That's where I would put him at.
No, hell no. No, hell no. He's not a better wide receiver than he is at corner. Hell no.
Okay, well, I don't watch
Hell
college, so that's just what I've heard. But if I'm wrong on that, of course, I would play him in his best position. That's how I would handle it. Now, everybody's got their different ways of handling it. But we will actually move on to the next topic, which is staying with the draft. Who's going to be the first overall pick? Caib, I want to hear what you think.
So it all depends on who gets it. If it's Jacksonville, it's going to be Travis Hunter. If it's Las Vegas or the Giants, it's either going to be Shador or Cam Ward. Unless the Giants wants to go to next year's draft and get like a Nico, I'm not going to even pronounce his last name, or Archimani, then yeah, we can have some talks about Travis Hunter goes to the Giants or they trade back and get more picks. So, but if I'm being honest, it's either going to be Travis or Shador. Because there's no way the Giants are going to pass up on Shador. In my opinion, there's no way Jacksonville going to pass up on Travis. They have the number 1 pick. There's no way.
Are you putting Shador over Cam Ward?
Yes, because Cam Ward, if you watch Cam Ward, his play style is not going to translate as much as Shador. Shador, he's the most pro-ready quarterback because he's under duress almost half the time and just puts up great numbers day in, day out. So it's going to be hard to say that Cam Ward can do what Shador do. Shador can do what Cam Ward do because he's at Miami. Miami's already an established college football team with Cam Ward got there. Shador went to a team that was 111 and flipped that whole team around. So I can't just sit here and say Cam Ward is better than Shador. When I saw what Shador did, but less. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I I would agree. I do think it's going to be Shador going first. I think Cam Ward will go number two, depending on who it is. I mean, they're not too crazy far off. I don't think either quarterback is really a plug and play quarterback. Like, you're going to put them in and start them immediately. I think they both have their issues, but whoever's at the top of that draft board is going to get their pick. Who do they want? Cam Ward or Shador Sanders? There is another quarterback, Carson Beck. He was a first rounder. I don't think he is anymore. I think his interceptions have really dropped his stock. Yeah, he was a top round talent or a round one talent before he started throwing a million picks a game. There's some really good quarterbacks throughout the draft that will be coming out. I think a sleeper quarterback that might go in the late rounds is Tyler Shook out of Louisville. He's a very good quarterback as well. But it's really going to just be between Shador and Cam Ward. I don't know if he's eligible yet. Is Dylan Gabriel still? Is he going to go to the draft? Do you guys think he's going to, or where do you think he is? 24.
24.
Good God, is he
draft,
really?
Bro. Yes, he's been in the league. College football since 2018, I believe.
Yeah, like I said,
2019.
I don't know anything about college at all. I know that Dylan Gabriel is having a very good season with Oregon, but I don't know where he is draft-wise. Justin, if you were a non-QB needy team, would you take Travis with the number one pick, or would you pick a position of need?
Okay. Could you tell me who are like the top 3 or 4 or 5 that would be like in the position in the draft?
So in the first overall pick, give me just a moment, I'll pull it up here. Outside of quarterbacks, I'm not completely sure. Let's see, draft order.
Will Johnson, you talking about the top 5 draft picks, Justin?
Yeah, like who's picking? I mean,
so
right now it's like.
So the main ones that I can see are Will Johnson, Tetiera McMillan, Kelvin Banks, Mason Graham, Ashton Jonty, and Will Campbell. Those are 6. If you want to pick Emeka Ubuka or Abdul Carter, those are 2 sleeper picks as well. But I don't see them going number 1, and I don't think you would either. I kind of wonder, would you pick a position of need with the number 1 pick? Would you trade back, or would you take a chance and draft Travis?
when you have somebody like Travis, you're going to take Travis.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like, basketball comparison, when LeBron was number 1 pick, or you got like a generational consensus type pick, you're going to go the best available. And when the best available is there, you're going for him. Like, I wouldn't be surprised whoever gets the number 1 pick drafts him, because he's Travis Hunter and what he's been able to do. Even you could probably go down when he was at Jackson State, to now. Like, he's gotten better every year. And, I wouldn't be surprised if any team that got the number 1 pick drafted him. I would go Travis Hunter, no matter what my position would need, because there's always next year, because there's some nice QB draft prospects coming in and that are still playing.
That is very true. All right, so we're going to move into just the state of the NFL. So this is a segment where we pretty much just talk about different things going on around the NFL. We've hit on a couple of things already, but basically just a discussion time. We can talk about different different things that happened this week in the games, any kind of events like Daniel Jones going to the Vikings, stuff like that. How about the Carolina Panthers taking the Kansas City Chiefs to the wire? I mean, that was the last thing I expected to see this season. I mean, Carolina could build something special if they do it correctly. But I don't know if I have so much trust in David Tepper. I know that Carolina is a little bit of a pretty bad team. But seeing them fight against the Kansas City Chiefs, even though Kansas City won, seeing them come out and fight against the Kansas City Chiefs and take them to the wire was really interesting to see. I know that, they're not necessarily on par with the Las Vegas Raiders, who are very bad, but seeing them do that really was interesting to me. And seeing the Cleveland Browns as well, they've kind of surprised me. I think every day that Jameis Winston is the starter, he gets more and more love around the league. But I kind of wonder what you guys think on the NFL. I mean, what do you guys think is interesting stuff that's happened around the league?
You want this first, Caleb?
I'm gonna let you go first, bro.
Well, I'd like to touch on the Panthers. Bryce Young, they almost gave up on him. I'm glad they didn't. Like, when they sat him down for Andy Dalton, it was a cool little Lynn Sanity 1-2 game ride. But that little meme where Bryce was smiling, I think that was real. He was ready to get his job back. Like, he could look at Andy Dalton and say, "Oh, that's what he did wrong. Oh, I'm gonna do that right." And I feel like he's starting to finally come into his own in the second year. Not fully, he's not. I'm not saying he's taking that jump all the way, but he's improving. And I'm glad that they're not fully giving up on him, because he was the number one draft pick for a reason. And he's doing what he has to do right now.
Yeah.
And
I do agree. I'm glad they didn't give up on him. I'm still not 100% sure on what to think about him. But Bryce Young is not a bad quarterback. So I think this was the game he needed. He needed the redemption game, right? Caib, you got anything to add on that?
Bro, to be honest, it's not even Bryce Young. Have y'all seen that O-line? Do y'all see how good that O-line for Carolina has been playing as of late, bro?
I would hope
that
so.
That is what's making Bryce Young looking so much better. Like, pair Bryce Young with a true number one receiver. Get him McMillan. Get him Luke DeBurden. Get him a Emeka Egbuka. Get him one of those players that could easily be a number one. And see how good he does. Because the O-line and the running back situation, that's fixed. The tight end situation, that's fixed. You get him one good, true number one receiver, and he's going to start making crippled people stand up in the stands, bro. He's going to start making fireworks. Like, real talk. He's actually a real good talent, and it's showing every day after being benched. So, yeah. Also, I want to speak on, can we talk about how good the Packers and Lions are? No, just the NFC North as a whole.
Yeah.
The Packers are, I believe, is number 3, and their record is like 8-3, bro.
Yeah.
That is nuts. That is insane.
The NFC is
giving
fucking
NFC
wild.
2022 vibes.
Yeah. The NFC North, I did not expect. I really didn't think that the Bears were going to be any count. The fact that they've lost a couple of games by miracle plays is just wild. And Caleb Williams, as much shit as he gets, he's a rookie, and I think a lot of people forget that. But as a rookie, as a Bears quarterback rookie, he's doing pretty damn good. I mean, the Bears have never had a quarterback like him. And I as long as he doesn't go down the route of Mitchell Trubisky and forget how to play football, I think the Bears might have found themselves a quarterback.
And I think.
Go ahead.
My bad.
Go ahead.
And I think because the reason they're, acting like that towards Caleb Williams, because, the Mahomes comparisons. They've been happening since he was at USC. And when he got drafted, into the preseason, they were like all the headlines like, look at that Mahomes, that's throw. Look at that. Look at how he threw that ball. That's so Mahomes. Like, come on, man. He's a rookie. Of course, yes, he's a generational talent, but it's going to take some time. And he's been playing pretty good. Like, you could say he's still in the running for Offensive Rookie of the Year. Like, there's still a lot of time left. Like, Bo Nix has been doing good. Like, Bo Nix is really spotty. Jaden Daniels has fallen off a little bit. Drake May, he's trying to do what with what he can with the Patriots as a rookie.
Mm-hmm.
But I really feel like Caleb Williams, just give him time. But what I've seen, like you said, it's the best I've ever seen from a Bears rookie.
Yeah.
Or Bears quarterback.
I know that when it comes to Bo Nix, I know you brought him up. Bo Nix looked horrible to start the season, and I don't know what kind of voodoo magic Sean Payton has worked on him or what kind of steroids he's on now, but I mean, he's been lighting it up, and he's really starting to turn some heads when it comes to, okay, Bo Nix has been in college for 47 years. He's finally starting to put something together in the pros. I will agree with you that I think Jaden Daniels has started to fall off a little bit. I think teams are starting to pay attention a little bit more of him. But to be fair, Washington hasn't played a whole lot of amazing talent, not defensively at least. And I think these next few games for Jaden Daniels is going to be the real test for him. Bo Nix as well. You could say that about any of the rookies, actually. Caleb Williams has no offensive line to protect him. Neither does Drake May. Jaden Daniels has immense pressure now because the Commanders are number 2 in the NFC East, and they are on the way, it looks like, to the playoffs unless they fall apart. And the Bears, while they might not be making a playoff push, Caleb Williams has all this pressure on his shoulders to be the Bears quarterback that has never been. The best Bears quarterback is Jim McMahon. That's not good. He was not a great quarterback. So, unless you want to screw up Caleb Williams, you've got to get some stability around him. You've got to get him a head coach you're going to keep. You've got to get him an offensive line. He's got weapons. He's got a run game, and they've got a defense. You just have to clean some things up, and I think that's what the Bears will do this offseason. A team that is not cleaning things up right now is the 49ers. The 49ers are a mess at the moment. Brock Purdy missed a game last week, and they started Brandon Allen at quarterback. I do believe they lost that game by a good margin as well. I think people are starting to fall asleep on the 49ers, and they're starting to see some flaws starting to creep in. Let's see. Yeah, the 49ers got walloped by the Packers. I think that some people are starting to look at the Packers and they're starting to see what people saw in the 49ers last year. This team that can go all the way. The 49ers are not that team this year. They're 5-6. They've not played well when their guys are healthy. I don't know what it is about the 49ers, and I don't know. In my opinion, I think you start to look at Kyle Shanahan and you start to question if he should be there. I don't do that. I don't feel that. I don't think he shouldn't. I don't think he should be fired or anything, but I think that question is going to start creeping up, especially if the 49ers don't do anything in the playoffs. I think that the 49ers will eventually get it together. Now, will they do it in time? I have no idea. But it's very possible. Let's see.
Well, like the upside is, the NFC West isn't that good. The Cardinals, I think, aren't they at 500 or might be over 500?
Yeah, they were in number one in the division for a little bit.
Yeah, and the Seahawks, we can't speak about them right now. The Rams, they just got, demolished by the Eagles. And I guess we can really look at Brock Purdy now, not really like we can destroy the system QB allegations because we see what the team looks like without him as a starting QB. And I agree with your point. Kyle Shanahan, like, you've been in 2 Super Bowls in the last 5 years, and we're not firing you. It's just something like the 49ers tend to collapse, like, at the end of games. If they're not, destroying you on offense or, demolishing you on defense, they could collapse a little bit. So I feel like if they could just finish games, they will win that big game. But right now, I don't like how the team has, looked with their injuries, and also, when your team is healthy. Like Deebo Samuel, like I feel like he's regressed a lot. Like I don't know what's going on with him. I feel like their best, like Ayuk, he's been non-existent. And Kittle feels like the only great receiving threat they've had, and McCaffrey just came back.
Well, Brandon
And,
Ayuk
on the
tore
other
his
side-
ACL. That's why he's been
Oh, he
non-existent.
tore his ACL?
Yeah,
Oh, no. I forgot about that. My bad.
that's okay.
But yeah, other than that, I don't see it going well. But of course, with the NFC West being, a little bit of a fight, they could pull it together.
The NFC West kind of feels like how the NFC South felt a couple years ago. Somebody has to win. Somebody has to win the division. And somebody is going to make the playoffs off of that division win. And you kind of look at it. Granted, it's not as bad as it was with the NFC South, but you kind of look at it and you're like, none of these teams are very, very good. None of these teams are blow me away good. The 49ers, like we just touched on, are very inconsistent. The Rams they're kind of the same, very inconsistent, but they're also beat the hell up by injuries. I think at one point they were starting a 5th-string offensive tackle at left tackle. The Seahawks are very inconsistent. You don't know what you're going to get in Geno Smith. One game he looks like he's the best quarterback in the league. The next game he looks like Geno Smith. And when you look at the Cardinals are a rebuilding team. In my mind, the Cardinals really have no business being as good as they are. And I think that speaks wonders to Jonathan Gannon as their head coach. I've always felt that Jonathan Gannon was a good head coach. And when people are saying that he should be on the hot seat, I didn't understand why, because they were doing well with what they had. Now they're actually doing better than what people think they should be doing, and you still want him fired. Just because the coach doesn't make the playoffs every 5 days or every year doesn't mean that they need to be fired. There is no expectations for the Cardinals. If they make the playoffs, which they're still in the race, they're not like Dallas, they're still in the race to do it. If they make the playoffs, I think a lot of people are going to be turning their heads to Jonathan Gannon. Something else that has kind of been on my mind. Have you all noticed the Texans be as bad as they are? I mean, or look as bad as they have looked? They have not looked like themselves, and C.J. Stroud has not been great.
to me, it was predictable. Like in my opinion, because it gives me the Cowboys feel. You go all out, and of course, everything's looking good. Something's bound to happen bad. So to me, it was like very predictable that they was gonna do that, because this whole time I was talking about, oh, C.J. Stroud and the boys are gonna be Super Bowl contenders. Nah, it doesn't work like that. They still have a lot of woes on the offensive line that showed up last year, especially against Baltimore. Baltimore exposed that O line. It wasn't as good as advertised. So of course, all those struggles last year that they didn't fix, like the Cowboys, we saw the struggles last year. We didn't fix it because we did win 12 games. They did go to the playoffs for all those struggles that weren't fixed and were just completely ignored. So of course it's gonna come back when you finally try to win some stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
So to me, it was predictable.
I
yeah.
think that they're still on the high of the season that they made last year, overachieving like they did. Because, of course, nobody thought that the Texans were going to do what they did and win a playoff game. Like, CJ Stroud, like, everybody expected, oh, dang, wow. Like, the Texans are here now. Like, they're probably going to make it to the AFC Championship next year. CJ Stroud's going to be a top 5. But CJ Stroud's having a sophomore slump. And like Caib said, that O-line is not looking good. And CJ Stroud's making mistakes because of it. And, like, the Texans, they're not that bad right now because they're still, I think, 7-5, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, they still got some time to figure it out, but there still are like 7 games left. And in the NFL, you got to figure that out fast. But I feel like they're still one of the better teams in the league, and I feel like CJ Stroud will still get it together. They just got to figure it out.
Yeah, I don't think you have any problem with the Texans winning in the South. Um, Tennessee is really the only team that you would think be a threat. Um, I don't think the Texans really have anything to worry about making the playoffs. But if this is how you're going to play in the playoffs, you're not going to make it anywhere. They're not playing well, and like you said, C.J. Stroud is having one hell of a sophomore slump. This is a guy who came into the league and didn't throw his first career interception until I believe week 7. Now he's got way too many picks. He's putting his team in bad situations. And yes, he is passing the ball very well, but when he's not on it, he's bad. He's hurting his team. Now, I think a part of a big reason of that is he's not comfortable behind that offensive line. I don't know what's going on with Laramie Tunsil, but he is just a penalty machine. It seems like anytime there's a big play for the Texans, Laramie Tunsil is being called for a holding or being called for a legal man downfield or anything like that. So I don't know what's going on with him.
You know who that sounds like? You know who that sounds like?
It sounds like somebody
we
we
got
know.
2 players to play tackle.
Yeah, it sounds like somebody we know. Shit, man. You know what
3.
though?
Sometimes 4.
I'd rather have Laramie Tunsil though. He's one hell of an one hell of an offensive tackle, man. One hell of an offensive tackle.
But we give Guyton so much shit, but Andrew Thomas, tons of all those other left tackles were terrible that first year, bro.
Yeah.
So it's gonna take time.
Well, let's hope he goes the way of Andrew Thomas and not the way of Evan Neal. God, do you remember him? Fuck, man,
Evan Neal just be hurt. He never played enough football to really get a feel of the game. Like, he's been hurt every year, so of course it's gonna be like pretty bad. But when he's been in the game, he actually hasn't been as bad in my opinion.
Well, he's also on the right side. I believe he's been playing guard too.
Yeah, but still, he's a good run blocker. He just can't stay on the field because he always get hurt some type of way.
He definitely can't stay healthy.
That reminds me of Mekhi. Beck didn't play for the Jets. I don't think he was as healthy. That's why he's on the Eagles right now. and
Yeah, you always was hurt.
one of the top
He is.
guys.
Have you seen him playing guard? Like, see him in his stance? Mekhi Becton is not built to be a guard. That dude is massive.
He's built to be someone on the defensive line or
Mhm.
something. I don't know.
I don't know what in the world.
He's too heavy in the ass, bro.
Hey, but you know
He got
what?
too much junk in the trunk.
You know what? If you want a swing tackle, I wouldn't be mad at Mekhi Becton being a swing tackle. But
Me either.
he's playing guard right now, and he's
He's a
playing
more
pretty
agile.
good. He's playing pretty
He's
good
playing
at guard.
actually real good.
Yeah, he's playing pretty good at guard. I'd say that's if he's smart, he should lose some weight a little bit. Lose a little bit of weight, but stay at
Food be
guard,
too
man.
good, bro.
Yeah, food be too damn good. Oh my god, I can only
Food be too
imagine.
good.
You imagine being an offensive lineman and being told you have to put on weight and you can't put it on by eating? Come on, man. Like,
And he's in Philly.
yeah,
Those
exactly.
do eat 6,000 calories, bro. Those who eat 6,000 calories. They put it on by eating.
Mm-hmm.
They just don't want you to sit at home, be a couch potato, and do nothing with it.
Eat them
No,
6,000 calories and you don't move. You gotta have that JJ Watt diet. God damn,
yeah.
man. JJ Watt's diet was insane. He was one hell of a player.
But it's because he played edge. Them edge players need to rely on speed. You can't be a fat ass nigga and just try to eat chips and shit all day and be an edge player.
Don't tell me what to do. I can do whatever I want. What do you think I do, man? Fuck, I sit at home and I do nothing but eat chips when I'm not working. Fuck, I don't go out and exercise. That's for people that care. No, but on a more serious note, we'll end on this one. The Miami Dolphins. Do you guys see them as a playoff team?
Yes, actually, I actually do because the AFC is actually so weak right now that they could somehow sneak in if they go on a win streak. I'm not even gonna lie.
AFC is just top heavy. I mean, they've got the Bills and the Chiefs at the top. I would agree. I would say if Miami can go on a win streak and kind of get everything back together, and Tua stops running into people with his head, then I think they could make the playoffs. Now, can
That
they?
last concussion gave Tua that Alabama powers. You know what I'm saying?
Ah, damn, man.
Alabama Tua's back.
You talk about a guy made of glass. That's Tua. I mean, since he's been
He's
in the
made out of
league,
something.
he's man. As much as you want to hate on Tua, as much as you want to hate on him, when they don't have him, it's very noticeable. And they are not the same team. So they need him to be healthy. They need him to stay healthy. And somebody in that organization's got to be yelling at Tua, stay healthy. What the fuck are you doing leading with your fucking helmet? Stop doing that.
He tries so hard not to be a bitch, bro. And plus, when you like when you know his ethnicity, they are not hoes, bro. They gonna do whatever it takes to show that they not no hoe. And when you keep on trying to downplay that, they gonna try to prove you wrong every time, and it's an ego thing. When you see Tua doing all this shit, it's always leads to being an ego thing. He wants to prove that he's not no hoe, which in reality, that's how you save 10 years by being a hoe. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
So like, he's just trying his hardest not to prove that he's a little hoe.
Yeah. Okay. Justin, do you have anything to add?
Yeah, I think for the Dolphins, they're really one of those teams that say they're one quarterback away, and they literally have the quarterback. He just can't stay on the field. You know, he's always in concussion protocol or something. But you know, like most people would have probably said, "Man, it's time to go." You know, retire. But like Caib said, he's one of those guys that wants to stay in for that team. Like he's young. He just got paid a lot of money in the prime of his career. Why the fuck would he leave? Like now, he wants to be that guy that's considered top 5. He wants to lead his team to a Super Bowl. And I feel like he can do it. You know, He just, he is the poster boy for concussion, and I'm just scared that one more could turn him into Antonio Brown.
Yeah, that's kind of the worst case scenario is turning into Antonio Brown, man. Fuck, I don't know if you
It's
could.
going to happen. Have
Or
y'all
Junior
seen
Seau.
the concussions that he's had, bro? It's going to happen,
It's
bro.
going to,
It's
yeah.
not running away
It's
from
going
it.
to happen.
He don't know.
Like, he was throwing up gang signs, bro. He was throwing up gang signs 2 times. It's going to happen, bro.
Oh my god.
Like, look at Junior Seau and Aaron Hernandez. Junior Seau literally had a great career, but he hit hard, very hard, and it led to him taking his life. And we all know what happened with Aaron Hernandez. So
I don't
you
know.
got to be safe.
I don't know if Aaron Hernandez was more a CTE other than he was just a fucking maniac.
Yeah,
Right.
he was a psychopath.
Yeah, Aaron Hernandez. Have you seen the Netflix show Swamp Kings?
I saw his documentary, but
Yeah.
I saw a documentary.
So Swamp Kings doesn't mention Aaron Hernandez at all, and that's for a reason. They actually talked about it in the murders. I can't remember the documentary name, but it's the Aaron Hernandez documentary on Netflix, and they talked about it. That the team that Florida team did not want to talk about Aaron Hernandez at all because he was such a fucking maniac while he was there, and when he went to the league, his teammates were scared of him. This guy was fucking deranged. So I don't think CTE was his issue. I think Aaron Hernandez just had a lot of problems. And, maybe concussions didn't help, but I don't think that's what led into it. But
they said he had oh, sorry.
No, he was diagnosed with CTE. Yeah, I did hear that.
Oh, yeah.
But it was like
grade 3. It was the worst type of CTE.
Yeah.
He had the worst types, man. When they say
said
grade 3, they showed his brain. They showed his brain. It was melted.
It was shrunk, man.
Yeah.
Like, you could barely even say that was a brain.
Yeah, Aaron Hernandez was fucking crazy. Dude, what I would have gave to pay attention to the NFL back then, I didn't watch the NFL when Aaron Hernandez played. So I don't know what the news stories were. So watching that documentary and just seeing the state of the NFL, how the NFL was being talked about in the media, and how the NFL just basically didn't know how to handle it. It was the first time it had ever happened. So, I think that was the worrying part for Hernandez, but I think everybody kind of expected it to a point. Aaron Hernandez was always fucking crazy, but the fact that he went on a murder spree during the NFL season and got paid for it was fucking insane. And that the Patriots gave him all that money. Yes, he was a great tight end, but it's just wild to me that wasn't like a big red flag, was his mental state. And, that stuff is taken into account now, in contracts. If you feel that a player is not mentally stable, they tend to not make it in the league. And I think that, that Aaron Hernandez situation is a big reason for that. But I don't know. I would never want to be in that situation, dealing with that kind of a player. Sitting him down. Hey, Aaron, you feeling okay?
Yeah, it definitely hit the Patriots.
Y'all trying to do the outro?
Fuck, man. Even dealing with Antonio Brown. Fuck. That guy is...
Antonio Brown had a fun CTE, bro. He has a fun CTE.
Yeah, he's got the one that makes him feel like a badass.
Hey, shit. Hey, if I ever have I think I do have CT. But if I ever do get it, like confirmed, I want the Antonio Brown type of CTE.
Hey, he might be the first full blown guy who had CTE that got cut, got put on a team, then got put on another team, won a Super Bowl. It was actually playing pretty productive.
I just don't get why he did that.
No, that's the first. He's the first person to ever take off his full jersey and just walk around like a bad bitch, bro. After that,
Well, you knew
Like
he was
that
gone.
mean-
like,
I mean, Bruce Arians told him on the sideline that he was gone, and
no, it wasn't that, bro. It was like Bruce Arians tried to give him in the game when he was hurt. It wasn't that.
So he says. You know, there have been reports that have come out and said that he was not hurt, but then he posts a photo of a foot fracture or something, and I don't know. That whole situation was just a mess. And then he goes after Tom Brady for helping him. He needs help. He needs help. Now he wants back in the league. Did you all see that?
Oh yeah, he will play for the Steelers.
He was going to play. Yeah. Fuck, man. Fuck out of here. Like, that experiment has been there, done that. You're gone. Like, you had a great career, man, but it's over. You fucked that up. That was
Enjoy
your fault.
retirement.
Enjoy retirement, man. All right, guys. Well,
can I do the outro real quick? I would do.
go ahead.
Oh.
Go ahead. I'm waiting for you.
I know enough for the dude.
I'm waiting for you.
I'm trying. I got shot.
Can't be copyrighted music.
Real quick. Oh, you know it is. No.
I can't.
Y'all hear it?
Nope, not even a little bit.
Nah, not at all.
Not at all.
Nope.
No.
Well, it should. Hold on.
This is the worst outro ever, man.
Pose it. Everybody got no. No, hold on. No, don't bullshit me now. Everybody keep posting. Well, it's your boy. It's y'all boys. The press Dallas Cowboys. My name Caib. I'm with my boy Justin. I'm with my host Noah. And we out of here.
Peace, y'all.
We'll see you guys next Wednesday.
Over it. Not for that.